Before we get into this episode of The Hassle of Hair, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. First up, we have Castro's Pool Service and Repair. If you guys need your guys' pool serviced, maintenance, clean, fixed, Castro's Pool Service and Repair is the place to go. Their phone number is 209-675-5418. That's 209-675-5418. Check them out today, guys. Support those that support us. This episode of The Hassle of Hair is brought to you by Nasty Tattoos, a Los Baños tattoo shop located on 555 I Street. That's 555 I Street. Go check them out, guys. All my tattoos are done by Nasty Tattoo artists. They also do body modifications. You guys go check them out. If you guys need to book an appointment, call the number 209-489-4655. That's 209-489-4655. Go check them out, guys. Nasty Tattoos. Support those that support us.
It's birthday!
I'm Jesse.
I'm Raquel.
This is The Hassle of Hair, a podcast.
Going after your dreams.
A podcast about going after your dreams.
Okay.
But no, it's a podcast about going after your dreams and finding your passion in life.
Yes.
And we're The Hassle of Hair.
For the Hassle of Hair?
We are The Hassle of Hair. Thanks for listening, guys. Love you. We went to a quinceañera this last weekend, and she did her photo booth.
With the new
photo booth. You guys, we just did a episode where you guys saw that we had the new photo booth, right? And or we told you about the new photo booth.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, I still find it weird. Like I said last time, I didn't know how much she was making. And then I see what she's doing, and it seems so simple, right? And it's a pretty cool gig. But our daughter is starting to. That was like the first, that day was, so we went to that quinceañera, and then our daughter was like, hey, can I go to another quinceañera? And then she wanted, like, I was like,
she got invited. What the hell?
What happened? I don't know.
She had got invited to, I think, like 3 of them that night.
Yeah.
Damn, this kid has more of a social life than we do.
And it's just like, she's getting to that age where she's going to start going to parties. She's going to start going to house parties. She had texted me. I had texted her. I was like, hey, just let me know when you need to get a ride, and I'll go pick you up. And I was just waiting up for her. Raquel had already went to bed.
I had work the next day.
Yeah, and I was texting her, and she texted me back, okay. And then I look at the time, and it's 11:30. I'm like, what in the fuck? It's almost 12 o'clock. My daughter's going to stay out at a party till 12 o'clock. 16, so I guess it was at a quinceañera with a bunch of security, but she's still out until 12, and I'm like, what in the fuck am I doing? So I told her, I was like, I'm gonna go pick you up now, basically. And there's no problem. And then like she gets in the car, I was like, I didn't even check the time, it was 12 o'clock. And she goes, well, you used to party when you used to
when you were
my age. And then, like, it's funny because I always talk about that.
You were worse, though.
I had parties. I had house parties, like big house parties. And then I went to parties all the time. Like, it's just growing up in San Jose, like her age group, when I was that age, growing up in San Jose, Friday when you would get out of school, you were already getting text messages where the parties were. So, like, you would go to one party on the east side San Jose, and then you'd like, oh, this is boring, or they ran out of beer or something. And then like, and I was like 15, and then you check your messages again. You look at other parties like, all right, there's one on the west side, so let's go to the west side. And it's just like, it was just.
I think living in Los Baños is a little harder because like it's so small. And when I was in high school, I mean, there was parties, but it was kind of like, actually, I don't recall. I never really went to parties. I didn't sneak out. I didn't do any of the shit that you did. But there was a place where they would go. I don't even know what it's called. I want to say called the Pits, but I think I'm wrong. And they would go out. It would be so dark. You would drive out to like more deeper into the country, and everybody would just have their trucks like in a circle with their lights on and just hang out. Sorry, my voice is very feminine. But I think it's harder now. When we lived over there on 3rd Street, remember they had a party and all the kids were walking by and stuff, parked like right in front of the house.
Yeah.
And then the police came, and then we woke up the next morning, there was fucking trash everywhere. That was crazy.
and that's what scares me. Like, she's getting to that age where it's like, where you kind of got to let her do her own thing and let her figure out those problems. Like, when she's in a car full of, when she's at a party full of kids that are drinking and that are doing stupid shit, what is she gonna do? I mean, we've all been there. I mean, if anybody had, like, if you're social when you were younger, like, there's always been those moments where it's like, you think back on, and it's like, if you made that one mistake, your life could have been way different.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and hopefully she just makes the right decision. Right? Like,
I feel like she would.
Yeah.
I feel like she would make the right. I feel this is the thing. I know us as parents, we talk to her about things. And I feel she's pretty open when it comes to stuff. But I feel like we constantly have a conversation about drinking or partying or hanging out with people or, doing drugs or stuff like that with, like having conversations with her.
Yeah.
That way, like at one point when last year there was a lot of kids having like overdose because they were doing drugs that had like laced with fentanyl. There was stuff going on.
Oh.
In the news,
yeah.
like kids doing.
I thought you were talking about Los Baños.
No,
I was like,
no.
Yeah.
In the news, I'm saying. And they were teenagers. So obviously, we have our conversation with her about, if someone gives you something, you have to make the right decision either if you're going to do it or not. Like, you never know.
Yeah. And it's funny because she knows when I smoke or when I eat edibles, or she sees, like, she's seen me drunk before. Like, she's
seen you at your worst.
Yeah. But it's she's seen, like, there's no chaotic, out of control drinking or use of drugs or use of alcohol, right? It's all pretty relaxed. You know what I mean? None of us are addicted to drugs,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she sees, like, we want to be open with it, right? I'm not going to tell her, like, oh, I've never done a I'm not going to tell her drugs are bad. Certain drugs are, you know what I mean? But I mean, when I think about it, we're here because of marijuana, right?
Wait, what?
This podcast is here because of marijuana.
What do you mean?
Like,
because you got high one night and you're like, I'm going to do a podcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is here because
I was like, whoa, what happened with marijuana here?
So it's like, it's a balance. So, but I don't want her doing it now, and that's the scary part. But then it's like, you don't want her doing it now. We had a conversation when we're coming home that day from the party.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, and I go,
how long she actually talked to you?
I go, would you tell me
And
if you drank or if you did drugs? She's all, no. And I was like, I'm just kidding. Yes, I would tell you. And the thing is, it's like, I don't want her to do it, but then if she ends up doing it, I want to know. I want to know if she got caught up in the moment and started drinking, or I don't want her not to hide it and then end up making more bad decisions. I want her to tell me,
Yeah.
It's a hard thing.
Eva could pretty much do whatever she wants. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But that's because she's earned our trust.
Yeah, because she's a good student, she's a good kid, she's responsible. She pretty much could do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
But that's because we talk to her. We let her know the real situation about things, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny.
Are we considered bad parents?
I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. Like, the one, you want to know how to get some.
There's no right way and no wrong way to raise your child.
Well, there is a wrong way. There's definitely the wrong way.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I could do a wrong. I could definitely figure out how to do it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But doing it the right, like parenting the right way, that's hard. Like, because I could tell you right now, if I could go get some drugs or go get some alcohol and just be drunk all the time, that is definitely the wrong way.
Yes.
I could beat the shit out of a kid and say, okay, that's definitely the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's pretty, doing it the right way is not black and white. Doing it the wrong way is pretty black and white, right? If that makes sense.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Like, it's easier to do it the wrong way than it is
to do it the right way?
right way.
Okay.
You see, that's
got
what
it.
I'm saying.
I got it.
And but yeah, and it's funny because we were driving, and I always think like doing this podcast, and if you guys are new to the podcast and you saw us because of the Instagram ad, like
because you guys seen our ad.
Yeah, I literally blasted it.
You're so embarrassed.
Like I figured out like how to like before I was just posting like funny clips and just boosting that clip,
Mm-hmm.
and then sending it out to like all of didn't have like a direct, like I didn't send it out to Los Baños. I didn't send it out to a certain age group, right? So and I figured it out. So I'm sending this ad out to just specifically Los Baños, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most traction I've gotten on the ad before. I think we got like 125 new followers straight from Los Baños.
Are you sure they're not bots?
They're not bots.
You paid for them.
No.
Yeah.
Paying for followers is way different from doing ads, right, to a specific group of people. And so it was 125 Los Baños followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, I don't want to say like with the ego, like, but like people are starting to see like, oh, that's Coach Jesse, or that's the guy that does the podcast, or that's the guy that does this, or like it's just Los Baños is a small town when you think about it. So we go out and people are starting to like, oh, that's the guy. Don't you have a podcast? Or like, and my daughter's around that. And the other day I'm taking her and
To school
and it's just like everywhere we go, right? The people say hi. People like say like, how's it going? Like they come up to me or they'll wave at me, and it's like, man, this sounds totally egotistical. But for my daughter's perspective from being well known in Los Baños.
You're not well known. You're just known.
Yeah, I'm known. But when you have people that come up to me and I don't even know and they tell me hi, my daughter's around that. And I always wonder, like, if that's a good thing. Right now we're at the bare minimum. But what happens if it grows and it grows and it grows?
Mean?
Like, meaning like, yes, it's a double-edged sword, like building this podcast. It's what I want to do. It's what I want to get our name out there. I want to get people to listen and get people to follow and all this stuff. It's like, for me, it's good. And I don't do it because I want fame. I do it because like it's fun. It's fun to go out and podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to do this, but I know growth is needed in order to do the things I want to do. I'm going to need money in my pocket. I'm going to need growth to get those people I want to interview. And traveling, like all that, I want to do that. That's why I love it. And so, but what comes with that, it's some sort of whatever you call it now, fame, right? And we're at the bare minimum. And it's like, what is this going to do to my daughter?
Did we even come through the door yet on that, though?
What do you mean?
Because you said we're at the bare minimum. Like,
Yeah.
Are we even in the door of that?
Yeah, well,
Are we inside or are we still outside the door?
I don't know. Like but the thing is, it's like, but that's what happens with growth. I mean, we've seen it.
Okay, so you took her to school. When was it? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Or this happened the other day?
Yeah.
And you took her and
But it wasn't even taking her to school. It was going to that quinceañera. It's going to other places. And it's always somebody or something. Like,
to be honest, I'm glad. It's gonna sound bad. I'm glad people don't come up to me and say, "Hey, you have that podcast."
yeah.
Because what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I'm glad like people don't approach me for it and say, "Oh, normally they're like, oh, you're Jesse's wife. Oh, you're on the podcast, or you're this, or you're that." I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Like you're okay with it. You're okay with people coming up to you and saying, "Oh, you're the guy with the podcast," because you hear it a lot. But most of the time, we go to the Target and someone's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" And I look at you, and you look at me, and walk away. I'm like, "Who's that?" I don't know who that was. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. And it's it's just that I don't care about me. Like if Eva wasn't here, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, what is this gonna do to my daughter, right? Like, how is she gonna feel about? I sit and think like, hey, what is your dad? All right, like this is me picturing her life, right? And it's probably nothing like this, but like she goes to class and like the teacher's like, okay, tell me what your parents do, and Eva,
She'd probably lie. He should probably just say that you're a coach, to be honest.
yeah.
Out of anything, I
But-
think she would say, oh, he's a coach at a gym here in town.
But even that's like, you know what I mean? Like it just, it's I don't know. Like I had a conversation with a buddy of mine where his dad is he's very successful. He went from not having anything,
Mhm.
immigrant, to building basically an empire, right? And he talks about, and he was telling me about how he knew there came a point where because they had it rough, right? They had it rough that growing up, it wasn't always like wealth,
Mm-hmm.
So it came a point where he knew his father made it when his dad like brought home this one nice car
Mm-hmm.
and then got another nice car, like, and the way he talks about it, it was like it went from having nothing to all of a sudden boom,
Yeah.
and he's a kid that went through that I mean, he's a person that went from childhood to adulthood, seeing his dad like grow this empire, right?
Yeah.
From nothing. And that's what I want for Eva. I want her to see like I want her to remember when we had nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we had like she's seen me stay up. Like she's seen me here in this room all the time, right? Just trying to do stuff and then and I think she's, even you've noticed it in the past few days, like she's been like really more social and talkative, right?
She's generally funny though.
Yeah.
To begin with, she's already funny. But yeah, she's a little bit more talkative to us, like telling us stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's I get worried, right? I don't know how other parents feel. Like I get worried, like everything that I'm doing.
Oh,
Right.
that you're doing.
Yeah, like for her, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Is this the right, like everything she's doing on point. Like she has good grades, right?
Mhm.
She's in AP classes. She's thinking about college. She told me today. Did I take her to school today?
No, I took her today. Yesterday.
Yesterday I picked her up from somewhere. I don't remember.
You took her to school.
I took her to school. But she's like, hey, Bubs, just like, guess what? Guess what I did? I was like, what? I applied for Spirit, the Halloween store.
This was yesterday, yeah.
And like, for her to just do that, I'm proud of. Like to take the initiative to go make money on her own.
You know, she wrote on the application, I love Halloween.
Yeah.
She wrote, I love Halloween.
Mm.
Oh, speaking of that, I got to tell her former employer about that. She put him down as a reference.
Oh, EJ? I mean, not EJ. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, do you feel like that? Do you ever get self-conscious about like what you're doing as in your own life? Is it going to affect?
I've asked her like, oh, because, I do craft stuff. I do sewing. I do a bunch of crafts. And I've asked her, I think not too long ago, I'm like, are you embarrassed that I do crafts or that I sew and like that I do like vending things? And she's like, no. She's like, I love that you do that. I was like, okay. Because sometimes if she wants something, she'll ask me and I'll make it for her.
Yeah.
But I asked her, because some kids, they might be embarrassed that their parents do things like that. But she said no, she didn't have a problem with it. She loved it. So.
Do you ever feel self-conscious because like you work at Starbucks?
No, because then the kids go back and tell her like, Eva, I seen your mom.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you
The
feel
softball
about
girls.
that?
And she's like, oh, yeah, my mom works at Starbucks. Like, I feel fine about it. Yeah, the other day we had a meeting at work, and, they're like, tell us your name and tell us something about yourself. And so everybody went through, and it finally came to me, and I was like, hi, my name's Raquel. My husband made me get a job at Starbucks because I spent too much money here. And then everybody just started laughing.
But that's literally why I pushed you with that job. Like, it honestly has saved us so much money.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you making money,
I'm also saving money.
you're saving money because we would. Okay, so let's run down the math. So I get a quad shot.
We'll say $10 a day.
Well, let's do
I'm
the
gonna
math.
go with 10.
No, let's do the math
Okay,
because
go.
my drink is $3.25 right now.
I'll look.
Wasn't $3.25 before.
Yeah, mine was $4.45 before. Now it's
So
$4.75.
mine's $3.25. So $3.25 plus $4.25. Are you
no,
really
$4.75.
So that's $8,
Let's see.
right? She's looking up the price of the actual drink. And it gets expensive, right?
Okay,
like
so your drink is...
This is every day.
Your
This
drink,
is Monday through Sunday, you guys, that we're getting this before she started working there.
yeah, it was pretty much
And
almost
so if we're
every
talking
day.
about finances.
Yeah, practically almost every day. Let me see. Is this one? Okay, so oh my God, my drink is $4.95 now.
No. It was,
Before it was $4.45.
Oh, yeah.
Before it was $4.45, and then not too long ago it was $4.75, and now it's $4.95.
Yeah.
And then, I did not get a sausage and cheddar sandwich.
What's my drink?
$3.45, I think.
$3.40.
I think that's yours. Let me see.
So
This has to be yours.
So hers is $4.95.
Yours is $3.45.
So what's $4.95 plus $3.45? Are you
8.
No, not 8.
Can
Oh,
I
yeah,
can I
eight.
do math?
8.35?
Thank you.
8.35 or
Yeah.
8.40.
No, 8.40. Yeah.
8.40. So times 8.40 times 30.
8.40 times 30.
Oh, we'll just do
30.
No, it's times 7.
52.
That's times 7. Times 7.
Okay. 8.40
times 7.
$58
a week times 4.
times 235.
$235
a month. Oh my God! Times
12.
2,000. Almost $3,000.
So we're
$2,822.
So-
This is before the prices went up.
So what are we spending on? Like just Starbucks?
You know what? Since I started, you've been getting brave, going and getting a quad, going and getting 2 sparkling waters, and a sandwich.
That was one time.
No.
Yes,
You've been doing it a couple times. I could look on here.
Because this is my normal, like mineral water and the quad shot. But hold on, go back.
To which one? The calculator?
How much do we spend on Starbucks? How much do we spend on how much do we spend on Starbucks in a year? How much? And go back. I want to see. I'm gonna read it off.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fine.
So how much do we spend on Starbucks in a year? $2,822.04. Or 40 cents.
40 cents. And that's just if us. That's not if like Eva's with us and she gets something, which is rare because she doesn't really care for Starbucks.
That's just the base. That's just like
that's just 2 drinks.
We got that every day.
That's just 2 drinks. That's not including food either because we get food as well.
Yeah. That's a lot. $3,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And especially like, well, how much was it? $235 in a month. That could go to groceries. But so we cut that in half now because you get what, 40% off or 50% off?
It doesn't say. Well, so yours would be $1.04 off, so that would be $2.41.
Yeah.
And then mine's $1.49 off.
But then it doesn't.
So 3 something.
I need to start going because when she goes, she gets the discount. But when I go by myself, I don't get the discount.
Exactly. You're expensive still. So for just our 2 drinks with my discount was $5.87.
Yeah.
So let's do it like that. So remember this number.
So we went from $2,822 to
$5.87.
So now our base
$5.87 times 7.
Times 7.
41 times 4. 164
times 12.
times 12.
So we're under 2,000 still, but we're closer to 2,000, not 3,000. So we're at $1,972.30. So we're almost saving $1,000 a year.
Yeah. Dang, $1,000.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
But like, working there, you do see people every day, right? So here's the trick, guys.
Yeah.
If you're addicted to coffee, go work at Starbucks. I do gotta say, like,
and plus I also get like £1 a week for free, or like the instant coffees.
I need you to start. I need to take advantage of that because we don't.
Do you not see some sitting there and in the counter and in the truck?
But it's so crazy, like, because it's hard. Like, let's talk about turning 18 in Los Baños, turning 18 and not going to college.
Yeah.
Right. There's so much to do. If you grow up in the Bay Area, there's so much potential for what you can do if you're not going to college. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But here in town, it's hard. Like fast food chains.
We have 4 Starbucks here in town.
4 Starbucks. Yeah. But Starbucks. Like when I've come across a few 18-year-olds, they're like, "Oh, I'm looking for a job." I push them to go work at Starbucks, and because it's a really good job if you need to work part-time,
mm-hmm.
or if it's your first job. Like, it's just a really good job to work part-time.
I could say that
like under part-time too, because
some of the high schoolers that had just graduated, like this year and last year, I would say at least most of them, the ones that I work with mostly, I know that they're going to college this year. Yeah. Like they're either going back or they're just starting. So that's good.
It's funny because like people have been telling me for past, like people I've run into, they're like, "Man, Jesse, you're always busy. You always do stuff. I've been told you're the busiest man I know," or you're nonstop. You're busy. Constantly people tell me that, and I never feel like that. But then when I sit down and think, like, we really need to figure out our money. Like, we really need to be strict on it. I mean, you deal with that. See, this is the thing. Like, I don't do. I need to be. You need to be more strict on yourself. Like, I could say no, and then you could still be like, I'm gonna go do something or get something. You know what I mean? Like, but like, no, I mean, like, I need to be more in that world. Like, see what we're doing, see where our money's going, because I honestly think we're getting close to how much we made together at FedEx.
I don't think we're there yet, to be honest.
But we're getting close.
We're getting close, but I think maybe in another 6 months or so we will be there. Yeah. To be honest.
Because like everything that we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we're doing, we're bringing in money, and it's just crazy to me because when we first started this, like doing everything that we're doing, we were excited when we made like $50 off of something we produced, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Now it's like, it's still not enough. And we're like, how do we get more? How do we get more? Yeah. And I do. So not only am I doing the podcast, guys. And I thank you guys for always supporting. But I do social media for two businesses, right? And our dog is having a bad dream. No, but I do social media for 2 businesses, and I bring in money that way too. Mm-hmm. But it's cool because I get to be around small businesses and see how they work and just be around them, especially the ice cream shop that I work with. Mm-hmm. So La Michoacana Ice Cream and Delights. Go check them out, guys. They're here in Los Baños. But just because I get there, I get to go see how they make their ice cream. I get to go in there and talk to them when they first open up, and I'm just there, right? And I pick their brains, and it's funny. I was talking to them. Their story is amazing, right? Mm-hmm. And they went they went from having an idea, having nothing, to all of a sudden they're opening up their second ice cream shop, right? And
Yep.
Dos Palos. But they were telling me like they were just hustling, and before they knew it, they were all of a sudden started off as a hobby turned into straight up business, and they're
Yeah.
making a living off of it. And I was telling them we're at that point, like we're at a crossroads of this becoming something small to actually bringing in like good money, you know? And it's just like, do we really, like, do you ever sit back and say, do you really want to do this? Like, do you sit back and say, maybe I should just, go back to FedEx? Like,
sometimes it does cross my mind. Like, let's be honest. When we were working for FedEx, I was bringing home $600 a week.
yeah. After taxes,
After taxes,
and
after
medical
insurance,
and
I
all
was
that
bringing
stuff.
$600.
This is before. Actually, that's probably. It'd be crazy more now because of everything going up, right?
Yeah. So working for FedEx, I was bringing $600 home. So that's what, $2,400
Yeah.
a month. I think about that all the time. Like sometimes when I'm like having rough days, I'm like, fuck. I think about it like, fuck. Like, you know what? Maybe I should just go back.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just go back.
And then what changes your mind?
I think I don't want to work for somebody else. Like, but me saying that and then I work for Starbucks is different though, because I'm closer to home. My commute to work is literally 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes. Like
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Well, the light takes like 2 minutes, so it's 5 minutes. The light takes a couple times, but like I'm literally right there, and I get to work where I love to drink. I guess that's like alcoholic working at a bar.
Don't say drink. That you love to like drink coffee. Don't just.
I don't drink coffee.
Okay.
Let's be honest. I don't drink coffee.
Caffeine.
Caffeine.
There you go.
Caffeine. Where I love to drink.
Yeah.
Like, but I've like Starbucks is fine in there for the meantime. Learning something else. It's not. I'm not gonna be working there like I did for FedEx, where I was almost. Well, this year would have been 10 years for us.
Yeah. 10 years. And the way I think, like, because there's moments where I do get like
you want to go back to for the money.
I want to go back to the money, right? But then in my head it's easy money. Like in my head it's like that's nothing compared to, like, it's nothing. It really is nothing, because
it's hard work. It is hard work. It is easy money, but it is also really hard work. Like it is. It's hard on your body. It's just hard on your body. I'm gonna say that. It's hard on your body. Like it is.
Like I don't even care about the hard labor or whatever. I'm like, it's not. That's my time. I can't imagine giving my time somewhere where I'm not getting anything like in return. I'm not doing what I love. Like I can't imagine going back to doing something just mundane for something that's not going to benefit me, right?
Yeah.
I it's crazy to think, like, and it's hard to wrap your head around this for even for me to say this out loud, but I want to live a selfish lifestyle, right? I want to be selfish. I want to worry about my life and the things around me, my family, my daughter.
There's nothing wrong with being selfish.
Yeah. And I don't want to do something that doesn't benefit me anymore, right? When I teach at the gym, that benefits me, right? That makes me happy. It makes me happy to be a coach at the gym. Being able to walk out with fighters to their fight and see them have the successes and even see them have the failures, like it all makes my life great, right? It makes my life awesome. And then being able to do this podcast, like all this stuff that I'm doing, it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't imagine going back to the mundane, like really the boring, and having to just put your head down and just over and over and over again where it doesn't benefit you. I can put my head down and do something over and over again where it benefits me.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going to work and you're making somebody billions of dollars and you're making, to me, $600 in a week, that's chump change to me. Like it feels like chump change. That because my time is worth so much more money than that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My time is so much worth more money than that. And then like starting our own business, starting our own things, and having people pay us for our time, and we get to say how much we're worth. That made me realize like 100%, like it just, our time is so much more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to another entrepreneur who started his own company, and it's pretty big here in Central Valley, and he was telling me it took me a while to get out of that minimum wage mindset, because we always put our worth and our time compared to minimum wage. So what's minimum wage right now? $15?
I make $15.50
Yeah.
at Starbucks.
So that's minimum wage. So before we used to always go back to like, okay, so if this is double minimum wage, then I'm making good money. That's $30 an hour. That's still not worth my time, right? $30, $40 an hour. Now we're able to set our worth. And when we set our worth, we think about it and say, how much are we worth?
Yeah.
Right? And it's not minimum wage. It's not double minimum wage. And if they don't want to pay that, then fine, buy it. I'm not going to waste my time on that then. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy, because like the minimum wage mindset, you think like, oh, minimum wage, let's double that, then that's a good job. It's still only $30 an hour. Your time is $30 an hour. How much is $30 an hour is literally it's not even worth one
You need
meal.
the calculator?
No, it's not even worth one meal at a restaurant anymore when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like my hour of time is not worth an hour of a restaurant meal with my wife. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't even, an hour of my time can't even pay for a nice dinner with my wife. That's not.
The nice dinner, the gas.
Yeah, so like,
And we like appetizers too.
let's think like, okay, so how much is a date with me and you, right? So if I take you out, it's gas. We'll say $20. Okay, let's talk about our last date when we went to the casino.
Oh, okay.
To
We went
casino.
to casino.
And we won't count the gambling money, because
Okay.
that's just like an extra, right? So how much did it take?
I put $40 in gas.
$40 in gas.
Okay.
Okay, so $40 in gas. How much did we spend on
The food?
the food?
I think it came
Like
out to 55 because we
55?
used our reward. It was like 63 or something, but we used our card or whatever, so they give us for 55.
Yeah. So if it's 55, so that's what, $95
Mm-hmm.
plus.
I left a tip too.
Let's just say $100.
Okay.
So not even counting the drinks or the gambling money, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about the trip and food.
Mm-hmm.
$100. So I would, if I made
You had to work 3 hours.
three, not even more than 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours of my time just to cover a date with that's half a day, right? Of work, a full-time job.
Yep.
So it's 3.5 hours of my time that I will never get back, that I had to sacrifice to take my daughter, my wife on a date, right? Bare minimum date,
Yeah.
right? And is that worth it, right? Is that worth it? And it's, I don't know. When I think about it like that, it's like, no, like my time is way more worth. It's worth more than that. It's way more.
Yeah.
Everybody's time. So when somebody sets you with minimum wage, it's like, you better be doing something else so you don't have to stay in that minimum wage. It's just how I think, guys. I don't know. Sorry.
It's okay.
it's I mean, we didn't have like what I'm talking about, how Eva's seeing us go from nothing to having stuff, you know, to having building something out of nothing, right? And how my friend, his dad, went from building nothing to having something. He experienced that. We never got to experience that.
Yeah, no.
Not like, think about it. Like there was no one around you that built something, right? Like a business or taking risks, and it's hard. It's hard, and I don't want to. I don't want to go back with minimum wage. Yeah. So what's your like, my time is valuable. I mean, everybody's time is valuable, and I think that once we start looking, I think one of the things that helped me is knowing that people die, right? Seeing my mom die, seeing that happen, right?
Okay.
Once you understand that you're so fragile, right? You're so fragile. And even I have to remind myself, because the way I live, sometimes I worry about the small stuff too much. But once you see that your life is so fragile that it's gone in a second and there's no coming back, that person is gone.
Yeah.
Right? And people forget, people move on with their lives. You even move on with your life.
Yeah.
That when you die, nothing, like all the stuff that you did doesn't really matter. Yeah. Right? Like all the stuff that you had, all the stuff that you had.
Like all the material things?
All the material things do not matter.
Yeah.
Right? At all. House, the luxury. What is more important, and it kind of still doesn't even matter, is what you've done. Right? What you've done. So if we're going back to living selfishly, if you think about it, like, if what you have doesn't matter and what you've done barely matters, then why are you so worried about what other people think? And why are you so worried about what other people have? Or just worry about making yourself happy and building on that. Become happy just with what you're doing. I don't know. Sorry.
Is that about you, or you're just saying to people in general?
It's just in general.
Oh, okay.
But I have to remind myself sometimes, like, who cares what people think? Who cares what people judge you on, or you stop me? Like, sometimes I do, like, sometimes I stop myself from doing something because I don't. It's like, okay, like, well, this person says this and this person says that. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a weird.
You put yourself down a lot.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, and it's I don't know. We're all I'm learning. I think I'm pretty good at living my own life, and I think you're really good at that. Like, I think the little stuff doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Right. And
I've learned not to compare myself to others. I've learned that there is no right way, there is no wrong way. There's your way, there's other people's way. As long as you get it done.
Yeah. All right, quick.
No.
If you could change two things about how you started.
I thought you were going to say
or if you could change, let's just say one.
I thought you were going to say you.
No. One thing.
Okay, go.
Think about the moment when you decided that you were going to do things for yourself. Like, you were going to have a boss. If there's one thing that you can change about you running this business, about you doing all this stuff, what's the one thing that you would change in the beginning or in the middle, somewhere, just anything?
For what business?
Just, this is our business. Diaz Productions our business is Diaz Productions, guys. So what would you change about it?
There's something I could change about it. It would be, I don't know, come back to me. What would you change?
What would I change? I would change not getting caught up in who, and getting caught up into like where we're at, like where we're, like our numbers, like who's listening, who's viewing, and who's doing this and who's doing, like, or what's this, is this doing good? Not getting caught up into that, like, and just being worried about just keep going and growing, right? And because now it's like I've gotten good at just posting and going, and then posting the podcast and going. Like there's no I look at the numbers here and there, but I'm not on social media anymore. It's weird. It's weird. Like I'm not watching and like I get so many people sending me videos and stuff, and it's like I always think to myself, it's like, how much time do you have? Like how much time are you putting to yourself, like where you're able to look at videos, right? I think the only person I send videos to is because I find it as a game, like a competition, is my buddy Diego, Adaptive Sessions, because like he posts memes and stuff. If he could repost my meme, I was like, yes, I found a good one. But other than that, nobody, like, I even my wife will send me stuff. It's like I don't want to look at that because my day is going. I could get sucked in, right? Yeah. So now what I would change is paying attention too much to what the outcome of posts or social media or all that stuff. That's what being worried about that, because I don't worry anymore.
I would change, if I could change something, it would be to it would be like believe in it more. Like not just think of this as just something that's going to be for now and not going to be like continue doing it. Cuz I thought this wasn't going to like go into 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, like let's be honest, like this was your idea. This was your dream. I support you on everything you do.
It wasn't my dream.
Hold on a minute. Don't put your finger over here.
Okay.
This was something you wanted to do, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I support you in everything you do, correct?
Yes.
Even if I think it's the dumbest idea ever, doesn't matter what it is, I will support you. So you doing this, I was just like, okay, I'll go along with it. I didn't think too much of it. I didn't think, okay, he's going to keep doing it in 2 years. And it has been 2 years. We're episode 134, 35.
Yes.
So it would probably put a little bit more effort into it and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you are like you I've had to prove to you, like you know how many people have told me, like,
you needed to prove to me after you had me buy you a freaking $500 system that we don't even use.
I've had to prove to everybody. Like everybody thinks all of my ideas are crazy, and it's like, and the thing is with me, like I'll stop something and I'll rebuild it. I'll stop something and I'll rebuild it.
Simmer down, Noah.
But this wasn't my dream. This podcast is not my dream, right? What this podcast is an outlet, a tool, and I'll leave you with this, guys. If you're starting a business, right? If you're starting a business, especially if you're in a small town, right? Like that's one of our niches, is that we're trying to take over a town, right? When it comes to the internet. I'm not trying to start an army and like take over a town, right? Not like that, right? But this podcast, it's not. If I can make money off of it, and we're getting close. If I'm being really open, you
don't need to be too open. Sometimes.
I'm gonna be open.
No, you don't.
If we're being really open, like we're getting close to the first time we're gonna make just the podcast ads, all that stuff, $1,000 in a month. That was a huge goal for me, just to make $1,000.
Yeah.
Right. And we're getting close to that. And so take away the money, because that's not why I do this. What this podcast is doing, it's growing our business. We're doing our own free advertisement for her business, for what she does, for what.
Sorry, it's hot and like you're really clammy.
And for what, like telling people that I do social, like everything comes down to, like, this is just free publicity, right? That you're growing, right? And it's a tool. It's not, you can't do a podcast and think that you're going to make a bunch of money off of it. It's literally a tool to what you're doing. If you're doing a podcast and you do nothing in life, then the podcast is not going to work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a coach at a gym. I corner people. I do social media things for people. I'm a husband. I'm a parent. Like, she does her Raquel Diaz designs, her photo booth. Like, we have things going on. What this podcast does, it boosts it, it pushes it, it drives all that stuff, and it drives our business. You can't think of it as a moneymaker or being everything. And that was my mistake in the beginning too, was thinking that this was going to be a deal breaker and think that this was going to make me a bunch of money. That's not what it's for. There's so many people we've met. There's so many people that we've made business contact with. There's so many people that we've just become best friends with. I mean, like, I really think of the Telez family at the La Glorias. I think of them as family, and I love them, right? And it's this podcast, it opens up your life, and I think that's what it's done for me.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know about you.
I've met a lot of people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, but I love you guys. You guys have a great
have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, and see you guys next time.
Follow our journey.
Follow our journey, guys. Follow, subscribe, all that shit. Like, share,
dislike,
tell a friend,
comment.
Dislike, talk shit. Comment below to talk shit. Yeah. Comment below.
No.
Oh, you don't want to hear this shit? But I love you guys, guys, and girls and women. All right. I was going to say strike on three.
You're so dumb.
All right. Love you guys. Peace.